Going to discuss on Spring Boot validation. What is validation? Validation is a simple check before going into service layer or persistence layer. It should be validated, and if it is a valid data, it should go to the service layer or persistence layer. That means during the presentation layer itself, we can validate and we can send back the if the value is not proper, we can send back the error message to the customer stating that, hey guy, you are not going to, you are not giving correct value. You should give correct value, and we can send the we can render the proper messages. Okay, we can have a here it's not a Spring Boot annotation, and it is a Java X annotation. We have several validations for there, and just I'm going to use some samples. Simple annotations. Okay, each and every annotation I can explain you in a detail in a simple example. Okay, before going to an example, and I can also say that, okay, one simple example I can say. Suppose you are passing one account number from the front end, and it is passing to the backend system, and it is coming to the one endpoint. And during the endpoint, before going to service layer, it should be validated. And okay, if it is a wrong account number, it should be rejected over there itself. It should not execute any business logic. In a such a situations, we can achieve very simple way in a Spring Boot by using Java X annotations. There is two annotations where I can prefer, and one is a validated and another one is a valid. When you specify the validated, and you can use Java X any annotations inside before the object, before the variable level. Okay, if you want to perform entire object validation, you can use at the rate of valid in front of object. Okay, when you specify at the rate of validated, what will happen? Okay, we see that. Okay, this example, go and open it. Just I'm opening one presentation layer diary object, and inside this diary object I have used few simple annotations: minimum and maximum. Everyone know what is minimum and maximum, that's why I took it. And another one is date and time format, and not null and not null. This means when you specify this valid annotation, when you specified this valid annotation, when you send any request to this particular endpoint, at this point it will consider, it will try to validate each and every annotations present in the presentation layer class. That means there is a presentation layer class. Here it will check, okay, the value is a minimum 0 or not, the value is maximum 0 or not. Okay, whether the value, the content is not null or not, it is a null. If it is a null value, it will be throwing an error. And I can show you while running an example. Okay, it will throw an error. Suppose it will also have certain annotations, date and time format. Okay, if you're not properly formatted, given, if you're not given any proper date, and it will be throwing there itself an error in the from before going to the business logic. We can avoid such a business logic errors. Suppose if you need to pass a certain date format to the system, and it should be validated front end itself. Okay, and certain times. Okay, there is a, yeah, the motive is here how to use the validation. uh, okay, what is the annotations we are going to use in the presentation layer class, and how we are going to use at each individual field level. Okay, I don't have any object, I want to use validation at the field level. What is going to happen? Okay, is it the same valid annotation it will support? No. Okay, it is valid annotation is specifically for objects, and you can use a specific annotation when you specify validated at the class level, and this the control layer, and in anywhere in the control layer you can use directly this annotations. Okay, that minimum one, that means when you try to get the values from the diary, and before going to the service layer, it will be validated and it's going to the service layer. That means I can show you one simple example. Okay, have a look at here. Okay, I can execute over here. Suppose I'm passing what I specified here, in this pres- in this endpoint. The endpoint name is diaries, and the diary ID I'm going to give as a input. Okay, I'm giving an input. Okay, the what is the value? Minimum one. Okay, that means it should be minimum one. It should not be less. It should not be zero or minus values. Correct, right? Minimum one means that's okay. I try to give some zero value and check. Okay, what is going to happen? Okay, yeah, it's taking some time. Okay, let it be. Yeah, see the the request URI I am rendering here an example. In this example, the given it should be greater than or equals to 1. That means it should not be 0. Okay, suppose if I give one value, just I will check, okay, whether the value is present and the same error is getting or not. Yeah, the given diary one is not found. Okay, this way we can render the before going to service layer, and we can validate at the presentation layer itself. These Java X annotations very useful for the validation, and it is very easy to use.